Welcome back to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with San Diego businesses and the key people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. Hey, we're back, and we have our next guest, Mr. BJ Kjaer from Solar Rain. Welcome, BJ.
Thank you very much.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Solar Rain for our listeners, since we're not on television. Solar Rain can be taken a lot of different ways. Tell us what you do.
So what we do is we kind of do what's been happening since the beginning of time. We take ocean water, just like the clouds you can see outside the window today. They were basically created by evaporation over the ocean without boiling the ocean. They blow east or east, and they condense and become rain. So that's kind of what we do. We mimic what Mother Nature has been doing since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. Kind of started 6 years ago, I'd say. I happen to also be an organic avocado farmer. I'm walking on my avocado farm. There's I do all these mulches and compost and beneficial insects and minerals. And I'm walking through the grove. The sprinklers are going off. The sun is shining. There's rainbows everywhere. And except there's a fly in the ointment, and that's the chlorine that I'm smelling from the water that's going onto my avocado trees. So that kind of started the whole process of thinking, how can we make a cleaner, better water?
Okay. So, and just to make sure we get this out up front, the water, what you do with the water is you make bottled water.
That's correct. So we with this whole idea, got together with a couple of guys, one 72-year-old professor in chemistry and a solar guy, and my partner, Eric Peloton, who's an engineer from Switzerland but lives in Carlsbad. Myself, being a farmer, you kind of have to know everything. So we built prototypes, 3-4 prototypes. A few years later, a couple $1 million of our own money, we decided let's do a bottled water to prove the concept really works. So that's what it is. Solar Rain is a bottled water. It's available here locally in San Diego primarily right now.
Where can people find the product?
Yeah, so because we are a really environmentally conscious company, we try to work with other environmentally conscious companies as well. So we're at Whole Foods, we're at Jimbo's, Cardiff Seaside Market, Cream of the Crop, OB People's Co-op, and we're also in some hotels and restaurants that care about the environment and about being local and sourcing their products local, not just farm to table, but also, if people want to eat local, they need to drink local as well.
Right. So tell me a little bit about what makes Solar Rain so much different than most of the other products you'll find in the store.
Yeah, so most of the bottled water on the market today are tap water. There are some are filtered a little bit, some not at all, some a little bit more. Some are steam distilled, which requires a lot of energy to make steam. You have to bring the water up to 212 degrees to create the steam. And then you usually have to use Freon and other nasty chemicals to cool it down, to condense it. And then you have basically a blank water with no taste, no minerals, no electrolyte, nothing in it. So as on a lot of waters, as a matter of fact, one of the bottles that you had on your table here when I came in today said minerals added for taste. And that's it. They add minerals and electrolytes for taste only, not because the body necessarily knows what to do with these minerals, because they usually don't, but just for taste. So that's a lot of the water is tap water. Other water is spring water, and it can be good, it can be bad, all depending on where the spring is. So ocean water, on the other hand, which is where we source our water, is full of minerals. It has pretty much all the minerals known to man in ocean water. There's 32,000 parts of stuff in ocean water. And but the minerals in ocean water are roughly in the same proportion as the minerals in our bodies. So our bodies are mostly ocean water.
So this is a much healthier option for us.
It's a much healthier option. The body recognizes the mineral proportions when you drink Solar Rain. And also, it's, of course, a plentiful source, since 97% of all the water on the planet is ocean water.
How come everybody doesn't do it this way?
Yeah, I think they should be, and I think we're going to be. There are about 15,000, I think, desalination plants around the world. Mm-hmm. They do use a totally different process. They use a process called reverse osmosis, where they force the water through membranes at high pressure, like 1,250 psi. They pretty much strip all the good stuff out of the water, but it does give you a drinkable water. It's of course been done on boats in the Navy for years, and on private small boats as well.
Well, how do you make sure, how do you, in your process of getting out all the bad stuff, because ocean water can have bad stuff in it as well, yet still keeping the good minerals?
Well, we looked at Mother Nature and said, how does nature do it? How does the bad stuff come out of the ocean water that form clouds and make rain? And that's what we do. So we do basically, we built the second largest solar thermal plant in the Western United States, right here in San Diego. And we use solar thermal energy, so the sun, to evaporate the ocean water to create hot, moist clouds. We don't boil it. We bring it to about 180 degrees, which kills bacteria and other stuff, but it doesn't take all the minerals out. And then we blow these hot, moist, now pure, basically solar rain in vapor form into another tank where we cool it down and condense it and make rain. You can actually hear the rain falling inside our tank. But the bad stuff stays behind, whatever there is. And
how do you stay awake? Because whenever I hear rain drumming like that, I mean, I'm just for sure going to fall asleep. Right. I don't know how you stay awake on the job.
That's
but
right.
How did you decide to get into this business? I mean, this is amazing.
Well, it's, like I said, it started really just out of the need of clean water, and water is such a precious resource. I mean, less than 1% of the water on the planet is drinkable water. So, and as the population of the planet continues to increase, there's going to be more and more pressure on clean drinking water. So it's a big issue.
Yeah.
But I tell you, you're not only environmentally friendly, but ergonomically. I love the square bottle.
Oh, good.
It's great. As a sailor, the round bottles, they roll all over the place on the boat.
Yes,
when storage, we only have so much space, and square. These are packing real tight.
I'm a sailor as well, and I know exactly what you mean. When that boat is heeled over, everything starts to roll. But there's a reason we made a square bottle, besides the fact that it doesn't roll when you're out sailing. And that is that a square bottle holds 20% more water than a round bottle. So it stacks tighter, less shipping, less space in the cooler. So it's part of the environmental thinking that goes behind Solar Rain product. Besides being from a plentiful resource, the square bottle is also part of our environmental thinking.
Yeah. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. Here with my co-host Andrea Kay and Urban Miaris, and our guest, BJ Kjaer from Solar Rain. So, BJ, how did you convert from an avocado farmer to a environmentally healthy water company?
Well, I haven't been converted because I'm still an avocado farmer. Okay. So, well, I have always been interested in environmental issues. I've had farms for many years. I had my first solar panels, I think, in 1978.
Wow.
So always thought there was a better way to do things. So water just seemed to be a real big issue. I wanted to bring up one more thing about our bottle, by the way, just Please to go back to that, is that when we realized that we had a really super clean, great tasting, environmentally friendly, locally sourced water, we said, okay, how do we get it out to people? And so I looked at glass. I love glass bottles, grew up in Europe. Everything was in glass. It seems nice and clean and environmentally friendly. I thought, well, it turns out to make glass, you have to melt sand at 2,655 degrees. And how do you do that? You burn a lot of fossil fuels, polluting the planet, creating global warming. And the only place you can really do it financially feasible is in China. So I thought, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Trying to be local and sustainable, burning fossil fuels, shipping it from China. So I looked at corn plastic bottles. I thought that's another option, except all the corn plastic in this country is GMO. Being an organic farmer, I could not support Monsanto and their GMO, stuff they have going on. So we looked at recycled plastic bottles, because we certainly encourage people to recycle bottles. But our chief scientist, David, said, no, absolutely not. Please recycle, but make lawn furniture or calculators or something out of that recycled plastic. Do not put water in a recycled plastic bottle, because it becomes porous once you recycle it, and it leaches into the bottle. So what we do, besides having the square, more environmentally friendly bottle, we add an organic fatty acid enzyme to the plastic bottle, which acts as an appetizer for microbes. So if the bottle is not recycled, ends up in the landfill, microbes are attracted to it, eat it, turn it into compost and gas, and it biodegrades in 9 months to 5 years. So it won't be floating around out in the ocean or be around for the next 20,000 years.
Wow. Speaking of future years, any plans to? I mean, there's a lot of waters on the market. It is a very competitive. I'm not going to say it's saturated, but it is a very competitive situation. One of the things that water companies are doing is coming out with clever flavors.
Yeah,
so thought about that maybe?
No, we have. First, we felt let's make a really good, clean, healthy water, basic, and then we'll go from there. We are talking to people about making some teas and some kombuchas, and maybe we could even be in a wine spritzer someday.
I'm sorry, some what?
Maybe we could be in a wine spritzer.
No, the kombucha.
Oh, kombucha.
What's that?
Kombucha is becoming more and more popular. You probably know there. It's a mushroom. It's kind of a fungus that's added to a tea that then ferments and becomes a very healthy drink. So, so no, we're definitely looking at that. Also, I also grow oranges and lemons and limes and other things. So I thought, well, maybe we can incorporate some lime juice or some lemon juice, orange juice into the water. So we're working on that. We're actually brewing some beer using solar rain.
Wow. So you'll be in the craft beer business in the hub of craft beers in the country here in San Diego.
There you go.
So that's great. Well, we're running a little bit short on time, so let's. We've talked a little bit about where you can find the rain. How can people get a hold of you if they want to find out more about Solar Rain?
Well, the best way is we are a local company, so we're listed. You can call us. You can look at our website, which is Solar Rain Watery, like a winery, but watery because we make water.com. solarrainwatery.com, and you can find out where to buy Solar Rain and what else we're up to.
Good. So solar, all one word, solarrainwatery.com. Okay. Any place they can call to get a hold of you direct?
Yes, they can call our office number, which is 760-751-8867.
Great.
Well, I can attest. It's quite yummy. It's very good water. It doesn't have that weird aftertaste you get from a lot of the other waters, because the stuff they put in it.
Well, good. So yeah, it's healthy. It's good tasting. It's clean. It's local. It's sustainable. It's all those good things. There's no reason to ship water from France or Italy anymore. You can get it right here in San Diego. And by the way, our byproduct from our process is a super clean, locally sourced sea salt.
Wow.
So we built a greenhouse where we have 4 ponds inside. We have 2 solar fans that suck the rest of the moisture out, and what we get is clean sea salt.
Which is much healthier to use in cooking.
It is, absolutely.
Than traditional table salt.
Right.
Oh, excellent. I love that.
Great. Well, thanks for being with us. This has been wonderful, and thanks for bringing the water in. It is yummy. Definitely a tasty product, so I recommend it to everybody. Okay, you are listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego business and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after the break with more homegrown business Close Up, and we will have with us Miss Jayla Siciliano from Bonafair.